Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be replacing the brake calipers on this 1998 Nissan. It's a pretty similar procedure for most disc brake cars actually. This has drum brakes in the back with disc brakes up front, and most modern cars have disc brakes nowadays. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So the issue we're having is that the calipers, this is what a caliper looks like. Alright, it has two pistons and it kind of pushes up against the brake pads, which squeezes the rotors together and stops the wheels from turning. Now this is the hydraulic input and output. There's only one. And these are the structural components, This slides back and forth, and right here, that's where the pistons are. Pushes up against the pads. So this one, I forget whether it's this wheel or the other one, but my front disc brakes are sticking. So there are two bolts in the back that kind of mounted to the bracket, and that is 19 millimeters. I'm gonna go get a mallet. So that's the existing caliper. Now bear in mind the top bolt is longer than the bottom bolt, so you gotta make sure we get that right. So now we have that dismounted. This is the rotor for the wheel, or for the brakes. The rotors appears to be in good shape, but the caliper is the actual caliper. And inside we're going to recycle the pads, so that way we don't have to redo everything. Alright, so take the pads off. Very simple. It just slides on. So this is the outside. It's the inside. It slides along like these stainless rails. We don't have to recycle these because we're gonna have new ones for the yeah, we're gonna have new ones. I don't know if you could tell from the camera, a little bit of a kind of gasket wear here. I don't think that's what's causing the stickiness. Regardless, we're not gonna fuss about what's causing it. We're just gonna replace it. Alright, so this is replacement right here, but as you can see, this is for the other wheel. So we're going to have to grab the other one. Here's the equivalent caliper. So in the new package, we have these copper crush washers. So let's go ahead and take that out. These over here are the new aluminum rails. The brake pads will ride on. So this is the bleeding valve for when you need to bleed the brakes later to get the air bubbles out of the hydraulic system. For our brake fluid release nut, it's a number 11. Very odd size. Oh well. So we have a copper washer up here, one down here. Oh no. Let's get new lines. Old one's frayed. Best working surface here. So we're going to use our wheel as a more stable base to pound at this very stubborn screw. Go. Alright, so mechanically most of what's needed is done, but you gotta remember when we removed the old caliper, there was a lot of hydraulic fluid in the piston, and right now we just inserted a lot of air. So what we have to do is, coming up, I'm gonna show you how to bleed the brakes, so that way we can have so they'll be functional. You can't have air inside a hydraulic system, otherwise you'll have no brakes. So, more to come. Alright, so we're back. I can't find my brake bleeder kit, but if you don't have a brake bleeder kit, what you could do is you could have someone in the cab of the car pump the brakes as you release this bleeder valve. Okay, well, just to recap. So this, look for the DOT3 brake fluid. It's the master cylinder and the slave cylinder. It all pumps from here. So we could go ahead and fill it up to the max since we're experimenting with it. And some of the fluid will have to go into the cylinders. So that's what we're doing. Alright, so I have my dad sitting in the pilot seat right now. And I'm going to open the valve and ask him to step on step on the pump the brakes. You see oil is coming out right now. So that should be good. Okay, so as my dad is pumping the brakes right now, because the hydraulic system's not working, it's not being pumped, you know, you'll get that. First, it'll sink all the way down because there's no back pressure. But as we pump out all the air from earlier, you'll see that it'll be harder for the driver to press on the brakes when the engine's not running. So with that said, this side should be done. So I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but when the brakes are being applied, the hose will flex a little bit from the hydraulic pressure, and these two pieces of metal will flex a little bit. So look at that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the flexing action. So this side is done. We're going to go to the other side.